Just as an aside, did you bring your trumpet in the wood, trumpet in the vernal
No,
pool
I
stuff?
can't go out there. I got it.
Can't go out and play after?
Yeah, I got too many things to get done in the next 4 or 5 days.
Oh yeah, you guys are leaving soon. All right, well, we're going salamander hunting later after the meeting, if anybody wants to join.
The salamanders don't like windy nights.
They don't?
No, they're very sensitive. They don't like it when tree limbs fall on pretty conservation people taking pictures of them.
They told you that, right?
Yeah, they did. They're very caring little creatures.
They are, yes. They're like, no, please. Your safety is more important than my mating.
Yeah, you can read it next time.
Right. No, Liz, you want to read
I'll
the
read it,
minutes?
sure.
All right.
Okay. Meeting minutes, March 20th, 2019. Meeting opened at 7:10. Carolyn opened the meeting by reading the notice that the meeting was being recorded.
Oh yeah, we're being recorded tonight.
Thank you. Attendees, Carolyn, Steve, Liz, John, Walter, Louise. 1. Minutes of the previous meeting. Minutes for March 6th, 2019 were reviewed. Walter moved to accept the minutes with the clarification that Liz would monitor the CC page on the town website on a trial basis. Liz seconded the motion, which passed unanimously.
You seconded your own motion?
I don't recall, but I will do that.
Must be right.
Treasurer's report, funds available as of December 31st, 2018. Annual budget, $1,563.34. Wetlands funds, $5,769.47. Open space land acquisition, $233,107.19. Review account balance sheets, no action. Mail, notices. Notification from MACC that Carolyn had received, yay, a certificate of achievement for completing the MACC Fundamental Training Program. 2,
Thank you.
Board of Selectmen notification that any board needing access to town council, Board of Selectmen notification that any board needing access to town council, that board should submit a written request to the BOS.
Yeah, I think so.
How do we fix it? We'll fix it later?
Yeah.
Okay. Wetlands. Heather Davis of 104 Crosby Road attended the meeting looking for clarification on the OOC extension issue for DEP number 107-0224, 104 Crosby Road. The new permitting process put in place for the building department requires that the CC chairs sign off on permits. The OOC extension information had not been updated on the site. Carolyn investigated the issue and reported that the issue should be resolved since the information has now been uploaded to the permitting site. 5, appointments. A, 7:15, 245 River Road West. 1, Stephen Cardozo of 245 River Road West attended the meeting to present the revised plans. 2, the CC reviewed the plans and noted that the barn had been moved out of the riverfront area as requested. 3, the new plans also showed the placement of the rock barrier which would protect against disturbance in the riverfront area. 4, Mr. Cardozo will notify the CC when the new flagging is in place. Walter and Pat Garner will do a site visit to verify the flagging.
Did you talk to them?
Nobody's called me.
Okay.
You'll probably get a call.
5, Mr. Cardozo reported that he plans to start work in approximately 2 weeks. 6, Walter moved to accept the plans pending verification of the 200-foot buffer zone flagging. Liz seconded the motion, which passed unanimously. B, executive session. 1, Carolyn announced that the CC would move into executive session. C, 8 o'clock, Nolan Slate, Eagle Scout Project. Nolan Slate of the Berlin Boy Scout Troop came before the CC to discuss an Eagle Scout project. He proposed one idea, which was to do a cleanup on the town property adjacent to Eco Village where he lives. 2, John proposed that he combine that with trail marking and volunteered to be his liaison with the CC. 3, Nolan will consider these ideas and return to the CC with a plan.
Maybe.
D, 8:30, Eli Goldman, Central Mass Regional Planning Commission Open Space / Recreation Grant. 1, Eli Goldman and Chris Bennett of CMRPC reported on the progress of the Open Space Recreation Plan. He stated that we now needed to have a public presentation of the plan. 2, CC reviewed the proposed survey and made changes to the questionnaire. We also reviewed the goals and maps that will be included in the plan. E, John Grenier / Casa Investment Incorporated, over 55 housing development. 1, John Grenier and Julie Vinicasa, representing Casa Investments Incorporated, met with the CC to present their plans dated March 20th, 2019, for the over 55 development to be located at the Worcester Sand and Gravel property on River Road West. Plans were drawn up by J.M. Grenier Associates, 78, probably 78 Hartford Turnpike,
No, that's no
Shrewsbury, Mass.
No comment there. After associates?
After 78.
Oh, I see, it's got a few,
Oh,
you're saying, okay.
Well, a lot of people, there's a
Yeah.
lot of periods. 01545 for Casa Investments Incorporated, 1 Golden Court, Westboro, Mass. 01581. 2, the plan calls for 58 units.
66 is what it should be.
Okay, correction. The plan calls for 66 units in the $500,000 to $600,000 price range, with an additional 10 units at affordable rates. Oh, maybe that's why it's 56, because there's an additional 10 at affordable.
Oh,
Okay, so should we put it back to 56?
sure.
Okay. Business, ongoing, vernal pools certification. Carolyn reported that Thursday might be an opportune time to observe obligate species for certification of a vernal pool. B, open space and recreation plan is in progress. C, procedure checklists and Berlin walkway issues are in progress. 6 again.
So that should probably be 7, right?
7.
Yeah.
Land acquisition may require closed meeting with 48-hour posting. No action taken during meeting.
So that should be actually
Do you
8.
guys want the minutes? Because we have a
Oh,
copy
that's
for
okay,
you.
we're,
Oh, now 7 needs to turn into
8, there's
Eight.
no 8,
There is
no,
no
it
8.
doesn't, it fixes itself.
8, management. A, POTUS Solar Farm, Protective Covenant. 1, John reported Vicky Marsh of KP Law had drawn up a document which was submitted to the POTUS's attorneys. B, Joel's Eagle Scout project. John stated that Joel had submitted plans for his Eagle Scout project. C, Walter reported on progress of the CC Maps project with CMRPC. 9, community outreach. A, no discussion. John moved to adjourn the meeting.
I second that. Oh, sorry.
Liz seconded the motion, which passed unanimously. Meeting ended at 10:12.
Ah,
Thank you, volunteers.
Too early.
Meetings recorded by Louise Janet. Was there anything that we were going to change later?
No, we put it back, we put the 56 back.
Yeah.
There was,
There was-
yes, it
I just
was.
changed that Board of Selectmen notification that any board needing access to town council should submit a written request to the BOS.
There you go.
Nice.
Perfect.
Move to accept the minutes as
Amended?
amended.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, you gotta catch that, Steve.
I know.
Was that?
You're the recorder.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So the 245 River Road, she got in touch with me on Sunday about how to get in touch with you, so I gave her your home phone number. I assumed she would call you on Monday, but apparently she did not.
Well, whatever it is, I'll be leaving Tuesday,
Right.
so.
And you'll be, so you won't be at the next meeting?
Correct.
Yep.
And so if he calls, he's supposed to call you anyway if they can't get a hold of me, okay?
Okay. Did you guys fill out the survey?
Not yet. I got it, but I know. We got it online.
Okay.
I'll do it.
These were in the mailbox, so.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, well,
I've got to fill out the survey.
what is this?
That's
Survey.
the
I
open
did see it in
space
my inbox, but I didn't get to
survey.
do it.
Did you guys fill it out?
This is already been
Alright.
filled out.
Well, they're all already
Oh.
filled out.
That's why they're in the
You're just
box.
you're supposed to click that you are in favor of whatever she wants.
Works for me, I'll do it right now.
So these must have been given to Eloise. There are physical copies on
On her.
Eloise's
Yes,
thing.
right.
Okay, so we'll give these to,
Yeah, give that back, Liz.
I didn't write on it yet.
Oh, so this one is blank. There you go, Carol.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm Wilson, yeah.
Chopped liver.
You can have it, I'll print it out.
That's okay.
They're-
Well, I
we
can
go
do it
online.
online, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you send us that mail?
This is just a reminder, I'll get it, I'll put a
Right.
reminder on my
It's
phone.
Online, just.
So it's on it's on the town website, on our,
Oh.
yep, and on Facebook.
I got email, I thought.
Should I let Kimmel and Mosaic know to fill it out?
Sure.
Sure.
Sounds
That'd be
good.
great.
Everybody's supposed to fill it out.
Yep. I did post it on our website and on Facebook, but, so we'll give this to the boys when they come in later. I have a lot of pieces of paper here. This is just extra copies of the minutes, that's part of the problem. Okay, there is a notice for mail, Steve. There's a notice from the planning board that there's a public hearing April 23rd at 8 PM. Yep. Excellent. Are you guys here for 90 Ball Hill?
Yes.
Excellent. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about in 5 minutes, or do we want to just hear them now? It's not posted, so,
Well, we can get out of it.
come on up.
Sure, do you want us right here?
Bring your attorney up with you.
Yeah.
You want to come up? You want to sit there?
Either way, it's
Yeah,
up to
you
you.
can
You can just sign.
We don't bite.
Put your name down just so you attend the meeting.
Thank you.
Why they're doing that? When's the CC Film Festival? What?
Your house.
Oh, yeah?
Did you get the keg filled?
Shh.
I'll bring popcorn.
Yeah, there we go.
More than this?
No,
That's good.
just have to let whoever
Excellent.
attended.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
Sorry, we didn't bring a lot of copies.
that's okay.
We were just.
We can share.
Looking
We're-
to, we have a house with a shed, and we're looking to to get rid of the shed and add a detached garage. And I think part of the garage would enter the buffer
These
zone.
two.
So here's the house,
Yep.
here's the current shed, and
If we're going up the hill,
on the
how many
left.
on the
From
right?
Linden?
From Linden.
So
So,
Captiva,
See.
a house.
oh, you go beyond Captiva?
Yeah.
By a
Okay.
little bit.
The second house on the left after Captiva.
So just before the multi,
No, on the
No,
left,
the
left,
left.
Walter.
oh,
other
the
side.
left, the
The
left,
left.
okay.
On the Pisgah side.
Okay. Yeah, Francisco's in on the left.
Francisco's, they're
They're
our
the first.
neighbors.
Yeah, they're the
And
first
then you're the
house.
next
Yeah.
house.
We're the next house,
Okay,
we sit
okay.
back, the yellow
Got
house
it.
sits back a little bit.
Got it, got it.
So I guess they sit back too.
Okay.
So the.
So our understanding is that we needed, like the rules and all for what we needed to do to, if we were gonna be inside the buffer zone a little bit. I don't think it'll be inside the buffer zone any more than a large shed that we have already. But I think it'll extend towards the,
So the proposed garage is going to be attached to the house?
no, where the
No,
shed
I'm
is.
sorry, the copy you
Right
have
here.
doesn't have the outline.
So this is
Oh, I
gonna be
see.
larger?
just gonna be like.
No, not larger than this, so the shed.
It'll be
currently is
larger than
small,
this.
Right here.
Oh, is
and
this the
the
final
copy that
drawing?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
got it,
you
got it.
should-
Yeah.
Okay,
you should
so,
see that
the-
one.
right. Got it. So the shed, all right, you got the shed there. This is-
Inside.
Yeah, right.
What's changing? I see the shed. What's changing?
I'm sorry,
No,
we
no,
just
no problem.
did it.
No, no
yeah.
problem.
It's probably going to be, so this is the garage
They're 200.
attached.
Yep.
And it's going to be just
Oh,
like
100 feet
this.
up here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, the house.
And another thing is, I think there is a
Oh,
little bit
okay.
of, so this was a copy
So,
with
yeah,
the
I don't have
house
that.
being
You said you
built.
had that.
If you were getting after it was already built. So this is the wetland, which is right here,
Mhm.
right? And the teeny credit that test your vision right
Yeah.
here says that 0.3 to the well, that was already here, is 102 feet.
Okay.
So, and this drawing though, that we just completed with Jarvis Land Survey,
Mhm.
and was just freshly built, a couple months old.
Okay.
This is older, much older. They placed the well right inside the 100 buffer, which is actually is not as 102. So this line sits actually a little more out, it needs to be a little bit more in.
Okay, right, so the house is within the 100 foot, so really this little spot right here is the only part that's not in the 100
Mhm.
foot.
Mhm.
So you're actually
Just
moving a
like
little
just-
bit out
Mhm.
of the 100 foot.
And just going to clip the corner
Right,
just a little bit.
just right there.
And it's level land, there are no trees. It's completely dry, there's no wetlands around there. That would be
You okay?
done.
Nothing.
It's real.
Just
Well,
to get
This is the one.
The only part that isn't.
Right.
This
This,
to get
is the
you
part
all
that's not in.
yeah, but not to
the
the,
area.
It's already in the
from
buffer.
here.
Right.
This is all wet.
Yeah.
Say
The
that
house
again?
is already in the buffer.
Yeah,
This is the
yeah.
only,
So really, it's
Legit.
just a matter of, do we need to condition it or not?
I wouldn't.
Because you're in it. No
'Cause
matter
they're
what-
in it.
You're in it.
Right.
No matter what you do.
The house is in it, right?
Right. So, but for this project,
I mean, given all the circumstances, the house and everything else, it's nothing. It's insignificant.
Well, yeah, unless you get runoff and stuff, that's all.
Right.
What?
And
And
Like she said, she put conditions on it, just saying you got to put up silt fence.
Oh, it's all flat.
right.
It's flat.
Just so it doesn't run off.
We do have pictures if you'd like to see. I mean, it's completely flat, there's nothing anywhere. And no trees.
Right. I know the area.
Yeah.
Before you ever
What do you, any opinions over here? DOA, nothing, is
So-
what I'm hearing over this side.
Should we have somebody flag it?
No, you're in it, you're in it, so I wouldn't have them spend money to flag it, you're already in it.
Is
We know,
the
we know they're in it,
no-touch.
that's not a problem.
Right, so really, it's just a matter of, do we need to condition,
So if this is
like,
dry,
silt fencing
where will
really
it go?
is what
What's
we're
that?
gonna do.
To the house?
To the shed. Is this shed
Oh,
to the ground, right?
So,
So we're-
yes, well, no,
Buffer.
so,
But they're in-
Doesn't
like, if,
prohibit anything.
they're
That's your
saying it's
driveway.
flat, so
It
runoff
says
really
you
isn't a
have
problem,
to-
but if this was
Oh,
the
all right.
crest of a hill,
We look at it.
we
so
would
that
have
you're
them
not
file an NOI.
Bulldoze and
So that
stumps and let
we-
them run off, go
they,
into the
we could make sure
wetlands,
they
you
put
know,
up silt
so
fencing and we
you have to
checked
put up
all of
hay-
that,
bales of hay to stop
um,
siltation and everything else.
to make sure that runoff
Isn't gonna
didn't
have a cellar,
happen either
it's gonna be a
direction.
poured slab, right?
Where it's flat,
So there's no excavation to speak of. Well, you're gonna go down.
Well, no, they're
Well,
gonna
yeah,
have to lay
There's no going to
concrete.
be any living quarters.
Yeah,
So no
yeah.
sewer,
They
nothing.
do.
Right, right.
right,
They have to put a footing in.
Sure do.
yeah.
They have to dig this out, they have to put a footing in.
so I missed the, what's with the well? How?
So she's saying that from this point,
Yeah.
that from this point to the well is really 102 feet.
Okay.
So this dot should be on the other side of that line.
Gotcha.
So it's really outside of the 100 foot.
You said you have pictures?
I do have one picture, just what it looks like. It's on my.
Well, if we put a new house and everything, I'd say something. This is existing, he's got a shed there already. Okay.
It's just, no matter what you do, you're in the wetlands.
No,
This is not-
this
But I
little
can't help
chunk is not.
Yeah, the house is already in there.
Yeah.
They could file a deed some applicability at the most.
Maybe if you build this, you can put the garage down a little bit more than that, right?
Right.
So the distance over this way. Figure out the complete-
And I don't know if
Scott
you
Goddard
said
this-
what, okay, but
Right.
this is really just to kind of show that way it's going to extend out a little bit, this is just level. And there's nothing, this is already like plants and
Mhm.
stuff.
So who did this penciling?
The survey? Right there.
This guy did?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Are
But the survey
Are you
was-
getting better plans from him?
And
That's,
this is.
that was from the surveyor, we had the surveyor come out to tell us.
Oh, I see.
That's just a
Yeah.
placement. I mean, a carpenter can build a plan.
Street's here.
No, I know, but
The driveway
it's
goes all
an
the way up here?
approximate
Yeah.
placement.
It's like a long
Well, we
driveway.
normally
Yeah,
plan
on
with
the line.
elevation
So
and stuff,
that's
so it
in
would show
pencil,
it level with picture.
Right.
And here
Right.
is the kind of existing paved driveway. So instead of, I mean, we have, this is the
Keep it
existing
down,
garage.
you can
with
actually move
left
it
and
down
right,
and get
so
rid of the well.
Right,
Let's say you go down here, you're on it. Thank you.
right, but it also where the property line tucks in, then they've got setback.
Well, we got that from here to here, so they already got that setback
Right.
from here to here, it's gonna be, so.
But what I'm saying is, if they pushed it down,
Right.
they would be closer to here, so they'd have to go here, so then
Yeah,
that's the
right.
other
So you're
side,
back
and,
in, so,
yeah.
And it makes more sense to go down there.
Right.
Run down. Well, the only thing I would say is, do we want to put a condition on it? I mean, that's
Right.
my thing, is just to say, in case run up, that's
So
complicated.
can we put conditions on a DOA?
No, well, not as negative.
Yeah, you can, sure you can. You can tell, you can, on the DOA, you can write out some conditions.
That says that the DOA is positive then.
What is the?
You're not
It's
gonna-
a
Possibility. It just says if you're in a wetlands.
Right, so there's a couple of different forms that go along with building within the buffer zone. One is a determination of applicability, a DOA, which is kind of the easiest and least
Mhm.
that you guys would have to do. If we determine that that wasn't enough, then there's an NOI, which is a notice of intent. You can still do work within the 100-foot buffer zone, you just need to do it under certain conditions.
Okay.
So with an NOI, you get a DEP filing number from the state saying that, you know, you're working with us, and then we would issue what's called an order of conditions, which says you can do this work, but these are the steps that you need to take to protect the wetlands. So we're trying to decide at what level you guys need to be at. So I would have preferred better plans, just something that shows the actual elevation, that shows that it's flat, that shows the actual
This is picture.
sizes, yeah.
Yeah. Typically like this, the condition would be more like, okay, we know you have to put a footing in, so you're gonna have to dig all this out, so you're gonna have a stockpile of dirt. So one
So
of the
where are you
conditions would
gonna put the
probably be
dirt?
is you guys will have to put a silt fence or something, be responsible if we get heavy rain. It doesn't walk into your neighbor, it doesn't go to your neighbor's yard.
Right, or
It's
into
really
the
shut down
wetlands,
like that.
really,
Or into
yeah.
wetlands, yeah.
Maybe we don't care about the neighbors.
Yeah.
They don't
True.
care.
But it's just little things like that in this case. So to me, that's probably how I would go.
Yeah.
Go DOA or
DOA,
NOI? And then put
Put
conditions on it.
conditions on it. I would like,
Right.
just have to put conditions. 'Cause otherwise,
Okay.
the stockpile, just in case you have your rain, doesn't fill the wetlands. If we don't do it, then we have no say.
Right.
Right, no, you're in the wetland anyhow, so.
That would be my
Right.
favorite.
Right.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. How do they get to their house? Where's the driveway?
Oh, here we
Where's
go,
the-
here's the driveway. It's right here. It goes right up here, and they go into the garage here, and they're gonna go here. That's, so this fits right in. They don't have to change their driveway at all, actually.
You know, if we knew, if we knew the NOI for the house, we could go and look up it's in the file. There'd be a whole plan for that lot. It's in our file because
find
we
it.
built the house. I have no idea what year it was or anything,
Yeah, I know.
you know?
Do you know what year the house was built?
2000.
Yeah,
2000.
2000. This is the only document we received when we bought the house, and this is something that our builders have to
Got
must
the,
do
number?
to at least start the
This
process.
does 90.
No, that's the house number. He's saying like
that, yep, sorry.
DEP number.
No, but in theory, we should be able to go into the files
So what's the date?
and,
2000.
the plan date is April 19th, 2000.
So what was the number of the street?
90 Ball Hill.
90 Ball Hill?
Yep,
It's the
2000.
whole shed, so.
I'll give it a shot.
early 2000. Yeah, this shows the locus. So it's this lot. So- No. Hmm?
I heard that.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Got my phone back?
Nope. I'm drawing the driveway.
The scale?
Yep. The trees.
Do you have a size
Like that, huh?
of the new garage?
Yes, 24 by 30. That's just
Right.
something that's in the estimate right now.
Yep.
From the bill.
Right.
So maybe we should just say stabilization of excavated material.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we should have a DOA
Mhm.
and put conditions on it.
Not usual.
I agree.
So when we go for the building permit, we bring that with us?
No, you need to, so if you just Google Massachusetts, you can spell out determination of applicability if you'd like, or DOA. You can get the form right online.
Okay.
Fill out the form if you have any questions about how to answer certain questions, feel free to get in touch.
Okay.
And then you would file that, you make an appointment, once you have it, I mean, we can set an appointment for our next meeting now.
Okay.
And then we would review it, we would make a determination, let you know what it is that we would be looking for as far as conditions, which we pretty much already told you. What would be helpful for me to feel comfortable about this is if you had some kind of
You did
dimensions
see this,
on.
Yeah, there's another dimension, you see that, right?
Right, but just dimensions of the proposed building with, you know, because right here, it shows it kind of half in, half out. If you decide to go more in or more out, you know, it just would be helpful for us to, although I guess,
There's no way for us to really go more in because of the where the driveway is.
Yeah, we already have the tape.
Kind of.
right, well, so in is towards the house, out is away from the house.
Right.
We would only
You-
be going out.
Right, so
Up the
you've
driveway.
got, so this 100-foot buffer is from these wetlands in the backyard. This 100-foot buffer is from these wetlands, so really, if you pulled this off of that line in here, you wouldn't have to do anything for us,
Right.
because you'd be outside the 100-foot.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, that's up to you guys, you have the well to contend with, so that placement might not wind up working out for you.
And if we move this one, just a little more this way, so we don't have that little corner clip.
Yep, you might end up dealing with setback issues on the lot line, I don't know. Again, because I can't tell how far you are from the lot line here as it is, you might be able to do that. You might have the space to do that.
So we have, I mean, this little corner is creating the need for this process.
Yeah, correct,
If we
exactly.
change the placement.
Yep, and if
to
you pull it,
eliminate that
if you
corner.
pull it out of the 100-foot, then you're good with us. So,
Okay. It feels like I might need a better one for this because
I-
it's a little bit of
I agree.
disagreement.
Yep,
with
anywhere
also-
in
Yeah.
in between these lines, if the entire building is in between those two lines, you don't have to come see us at all.
Mhm.
So it just, if,
Where's the,
with the new permitting process, I'll still have to approve it
Yep.
online. So just make sure that the plans that you submit to the building inspector shows the 100-foot and shows the building totally out of it. Otherwise, I'm gonna ask you for that. So it might as well, in the planning process, to begin with, if you, the plans that they upload shows that, will be good.
And if this stays, and again, if it's moved a little bit more and there is just that, maybe the corner, but not as much as it is now. So
Yeah, then it would probably be
There's no
able
like de
to.
minimis type rule. that-
Right, yeah, I mean, if it was, 3 feet or something, that would be easy. Because right now, I can't tell how much of that really is in the 100-foot and how much isn't. So if you do a plan that shows, just a little bit, that shows actual setbacks and real numbers, not just a pencil drawn in,
Right.
then we would definitely be willing to work with you with that. But right now, this piece of paper doesn't say to me that I know what's happening. So,
So we need to do this with dimensions of the shed and what's.
and the set, so, right, exactly, how much of the shed really is over the 100-foot.
Oh, gotcha.
It's almost like this map, but put on there.
Right, exactly.
Take that map and like, this is all to scale in the elevation line. So actually, if you could take this map and draw exactly where you're gonna put it, and we can determine the
Like
size.
the garage right here.
Yeah, there's your well.
Yep.
And then, like she said, call out a couple dimensions, like from the line to here, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, but it would define the size and the shape. the
So you
position.
feel this is better than,
Yeah.
Not this exact piece of paper because it's so small, but we're looking for something with more dimensions, with, more on this line. If you can get in touch with whoever drew this and they still have it on file and they can put the shed in it, and then just send that to us in a legible size, that would be fine.
If I get a chance, I'll go in there. The room is full of people having a big
Oh, are they?
hearing,
Okay.
and I did slamming drawers and moving around slow. I'm sure it's on file, I just couldn't locate it.
Right.
we don't still need to know where the proposed garage is.
Is
going
there
to
an
be. I
architect?
mean,
Yeah.
the dimensions of it. so-
Exactly.
Are you gonna do it yourselves?
there's a builder, there is really not much to the architecture of the
Right.
to cover.
Right, sure.
Right.
Yep.
Not that I can't do it myself, but.
You don't want.
Yep,
That too.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, if you,
Does a builder usually have a drawing?
not with setbacks and
You-
stuff. Well, actually, that's not true. There should be, the builder, I assume since this is a proposal, you haven't signed a contract and.
No, but it sounds like this was money down the drain.
If you make them tighten it up, maybe not.
Okay.
If you just say, hey, I need real numbers, and you should have done that to begin with,
Okay.
kind of thing. But at some point, the builder will need elevations and setbacks, and will need to know where the foundation is supposed to go.
Yeah.
So somebody's gonna have to stake it, so somebody's gonna have to put that information together at some point
Okay.
anyway. So,
I'll work on that.
okay.
So does that, I'm sorry, does that mean that this guy didn't stake it? Did they stick
Probably.
things in the ground?
They
There are
did.
some
Yeah.
orange things
Okay,
in the ground.
so they
So
came out
that's
and.
good.
Right, yep,
And then the driveway.
good.
So you could take this and take some information off this and put it over on here, and then make this more accurate, draw it in. So I mean,
You're not gonna make them go out and get survey and topo lines. They take
No,
out the
no,
existing
no,
plan.
No. Nope, just.
Just shows that he did something.
Yeah.
just so
Right.
that if we or whoever were to go in and look, I have a plan to say, okay, you did what you claimed. That's
No,
all.
you're
Right.
right.
So you don't have a,
Yep.
I might interpret something one way, she might interpret, she will interpret something another
Right.
way. No, just so that way, it actually covers you too. Because now you say, you have a piece of paper signed off that you built as planned,
Yep.
and so that way, nobody can question it, because you got it all approved, building inspector, we approved it, so.
Exactly.
It's kind of actually better to have the paperwork in your end, because then you can never question it.
Oh, that's what we're hoping.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Steve's right, it does cover you guys as well. But, you know, if in a couple of years, the neighbor moves and you end up having a squabble with them and they're like, yeah, well, your garage is in the wetlands, and they come to us and we're
Too close to the line.
right, and we say, oh, well, yeah, we had a pencil square on a piece of paper with no lines that we approved it. You know, it's more just for future to kind of protect all of
Every
us.
time we try to go easy on somebody and be nice folks, it always comes back to haunt us, and we had time and time. I'm usually the nice guy, I would just say, oh, yeah.
Are they meetings
She
just
is
between-
unbelievable.
We'll sign up for that.
Which is why they made
I'd say
me
go
in
ahead
charge.
and build the damn thing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm over here.
Yeah, so, you know, and we'll absolutely work with you, but we just need a little bit more information.
Okay,
Okay.
so when we come back next time with better drawings and all,
Yep.
should we bring a DOA kind of filled out?
Let's see what it ends up being,
Okay.
you
This
know?
might be improvement.
Yeah, if it ends up being like, you know, just a couple of feet inside the line, then I think we'd probably feel better about that. But if it's half in and half out, you know,
As
so.
long as we
it-
get a plan, it's.
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
If you think of it, you can print out the form, that would just be handy, because that way we do it all in one night.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be great, yeah.
Yep.
And that way if I had questions, I could ask them.
Right.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
Cool.
And it sounds like the worst, not the worst, but cost-wise, is the handling of the dirt. That might be big.
That's probably our only restriction I can see putting on this.
Right, yeah, silt fencing and,
The setback from the line, that's not really us. I mean, that's maybe
Right.
the building inspector, Board of Health with the well, so that's not us. So all we're concerned about is the dirt will pull out, why you're
Right,
building it,
just
that it doesn't
protecting the
protect
wetlands.
That's all I can see at the moment.
yep, I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You're very welcome,
Thanks
thank
for
you for coming in.
Thank you.
And I'm available.
You want to keep that one?
Sure.
You did such a nice job.
Yeah.
You can have it if you want, but.
Yeah, but if you have any questions in the meantime, if you get a, you know, drawing that you think might be okay and you just want to run it by me, just if
Yeah,
you get it
that'd be
in a
good. Oh,
digital
thank you.
form, you just email it. I can take a look and, you know, so we'll definitely work with you.
And do I email about the next thinking meeting? in 2
Oh,
weeks?
2
We are
weeks.
meeting in 2 weeks.
Is
I
this spot
we can
available?
make an appointment right now, or if you guys think you need a little bit more time than 2
I think
weeks.
we should push for it, otherwise the summer's
17th.
gonna go by.
Yeah.
We got it already.
Yep, yeah, so April 17th.
I'll take it, yeah.
Can I hold on to it?
Oh, yes, please.
I'll help you do the minutes, otherwise I gotta write it all down.
Yep.
Yeah, no, of course, thank you.
Yeah, so April 17th at 7:30.
Excellent, thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank
Okay.
you. Civics lesson.
Yep. Can I see the sign in, just so I can write their names, not just the address?
You can have this in your.
Awesome.
Here, you want to do the minutes?
Not even,
I try.
not even a little bit.
Boy. I like to share, you know.
It is, and I appreciate your attempt. Hey. So what do you think that last name says? I think that's W-H?
I don't know. I scan it and put it in the minutes. That way I don't have to figure out how it's spelled. I'll
Yeah,
read the
I
writing.
think it's W-H-E-A-T-L-U. Oh, yeah, we'll let the doctor,
Weekly.
yeah.
Oh, the doctor, you gotta read his writing anyhow.
Well, that's right, he can read
He can interpret that very
that.
well. Did they give you a special course in how to scripted language or something?
No, it's a byproduct of having to sign your name so much.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, on this day, it also just being up late, and just like not having enough sleep, it's a byproduct.
They coming in?
Yep.
So, let's get to, Eli in just a minute. Do you have anything about solar farm? CR, there's been a whole bunch of emails going.
I didn't see it.
it seems like it took the threat of pulling it off the town warrant to get everybody to get in gear. So it seems like things are happening.
Who was not in here?
The lawyers have, I guess there was some question as to whether they did the 61A paperwork properly, and nobody was responding, and then there's a pilot program. I don't know enough about what it takes to do a solar farm, but there was something related to it on the warrant that finally the select board emailed all of the lawyers and said, fine, we're gonna pull this. And they were like, oh, no, wait, here's the thing, and here's what you're looking for, and so,
I didn't get any, I'm off their chain.
okay. But we still don't have a signed protective covenant. Okay.
No, I mean, they stopped including me in their conversations.
I haven't seen anything else about the covenant.
So can it go on if we don't have that? It can't.
Sure, they can't build if they don't have it.
Okay.
Yeah, we have
That's
to,
what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay.
we have to, the CC has to sign it.
Correct. We have to
Okay.
read
And
it,
then-
agree with it, and sign
And
it.
then it goes to the board of selectmen.
Right. Yep.
Before town meeting.
Nope, town meeting, we don't have anything to, it's more all of the
After,
the
okay.
other stuff that they have to do about it.
Okay.
That has to do with town meeting. So, I think that's good. Oh, and then the only other thing we need to talk about is, we have several things on the warrant that we're gonna need to speak about. And I would like, I'll do the plastic bag ban. You all know how much I hate talking at town meeting, so I'll do that. Do you wanna do Peach Hill?
Okay.
And then I think there's, oh, and then all the land that, all the tax title land. Steve, would you speak
Well,
at town meeting about that, or?
Dennis should be doing that.
Oh, yeah, actually, we shouldn't
Dennis will
have
do
to,
that,
yeah. So maybe it is just those
Yeah.
two things. Okay. All right, good. So, Eli, come on down.
Sounds good.
And I have a filled out survey for you that was in our mailbox.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, we're up to, when I checked this afternoon, there were now 56 responses.
Great.
So far, so good.
I'll see if I can get the post on Berlin Neighbors Connect back up to the top.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
Cool.
Awesome.
So, I guess I have two things tonight. Both things that we kind of ran out of time for last time I was here.
Yep.
The first is a copy of the goals and objectives that were included in the 2011 Open Space and Recreation Plan. I was hoping that we could take a look at those. I don't know if you had a chance to kind of look at the copy from the last time I was here to now or not, but I was hoping that we could maybe run through them. And you could tell me kind of what's still relevant or what's been completed. Are there new goals and action items related to open space that you would like to see included? So there are six goals, and they each have roughly 4 or 5, some or few more objectives associated with them. And the way this will eventually read in the plan is it will be included at the back. One chapter will literally be a page that looks like this, goals, objectives, and then the following will be a table that will have same text, and then 2 columns that will designate the party who's responsible for taking the lead
Yikes.
on tracking through, and a rough timeline. And the timeline can be rough.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. So
Well, I mean, they
I would
pretty
imagine.
well thought through, you know, I mean, you read through, it's hard to deny any of them, but you want to read through them or what?
I assume you want to go one by one?
If that's too
Yeah.
crazy, then we don't have to, but I
Well,
feel like that's the
let's-
best
let's
way
do it.
to
Let's try
kind of
that.
track
Yeah.
through them. Maybe there's some that are kind of obviously still good, check. and
Right.
then we can skim past those.
Manage open space. So the first goal looks still relevant.
This is all, we fulfilled all of these objectives.
Well, we
And
haven't
that goal-
completed them, they're like ongoing. They're
Right.
all
Oh,
still
yeah.
relevant.
They'll always be
Yes.
ongoing, yeah.
Yeah,
Right, they've guided us and we've used these.
right.
What is F? On the first goal one, F.
Yeah.
Develop a conservation restriction monitoring plan for all CR properties.
Well, what we do is generally give, on important ones, we've given CRs, donated CRs to Sudbury Valley trustees, and they
Right.
come out and they monitor it once a year, they'll walk the boundary, to make sure nobody's encroaching on them or something
Yeah.
like that, that's what that means.
Yeah, I get emails
Mostly
saying,
encroachments.
hey, we're going,
One part of developing the plan is finding out which they actually monitor, which they don't.
I believe they monitor all of it.
They let us know.
Yeah.
No, they may
Right.
not monitor, because they're very, I mean, if they don't have a signed document that they're holding the CR, they probably won't monitor it.
They
Well,
do.
sure.
Absolutely.
But so you're saying every single one of the conservation lands in here? they
Every
have a
one that
CR?
we've given a CR to, but frankly, you know, this,
Some of them are old.
if you're in Newton or you're in, you know, down closer to Boston, a lot of density in people's backyards, using for playgrounds and stuff like that, that's one thing. Out here, you don't have that kind of a problem. We don't,
Yeah.
there's no great encroachments.
Right.
We have old men walking through the woods with guns, it's kind of
Yeah.
scary.
Well, it's the bikers that are the problem, but
Here we
we're gonna
go.
have an open season on those.
Isn't there already?
There we go.
Yeah. No, for example, like the Oberg purchase, you know, there's a CR.
Mhm.
And, you know.
And they will monitor it every
right.
year.
But what about the rest of Pisgah?
What, do you see a problem?
No.
Are you
I'm
trying to
just-
create a problem?
I'm trying to be specific.
Just
So-
relax. It isn't necessary to, you know, go ironclad rules around. We've never had a problem.
What you said
yet.
is that the SVT monitors all the land. And what I'm saying
All the
is.
land that we have given them CRs on, they have several.
Right. And are there any CRs that?
There are lands that we have not given them CRs on.
Right.
We monitor those. I drive by and look, you know. and
That's
all
great.
that.
All I was suggesting is that we should delineate which they have and which we have.
Right, so develop a conservation restriction monitoring plan for all properties that the town holds a conservation restriction on. Is what you're looking for,
Who's doing what?
or
I mean,
that the town
I'm-
solely.
I think he's saying the statement is correct, he just says, who's doing it and when?
Yeah.
Who's doing it?
Who's doing it and when? We don't get a report or anything saying this was done.
No,
So,
Right.
Well, what
That's
about
not
the
true,
case that
from
the-
Sudbury Valley trustees, we do.
we do?
What about the
Yeah.
situation
Just an
on the
email,
corner of
yeah.
Pleasant and Central Street there with that guy in the swimming pool?
Right.
You know,
SVT
Dan-
brought that to
yeah,
our
they brought
attention.
that to our
Yeah.
attention. They
Yeah,
go out
they
and
did.
monitor 'em.
Yep, and actually Louise and I went with them once when they monitored, when they went, walked the property.
Right.
We tried to get through that bramble up to the
Yeah.
end of the conservation land where the pool is, and there's just no way to walk through that at all.
Well, I mean, I grew up in this town for 70-something years. This is fortunately still Berlin and not Northborough and Hudson and everything. We've never had a problem with encroachments. Are we monitoring it? Yes. I hunt the areas, people look at it, you drive down the street. Anybody encroaches on it or throws trash on our lands, somehow we find out about it. But it's never happened to amount to anything, really. Somebody throws a Christmas tree over the stone wall or something, you know.
So
I
actually, probably
hate
that
to
swimming
make
pool's the
something out
worst.
of nothing. Something out of nothing.
Maybe within, to get to what you're, point of thing, in the table, maybe, we can designate whether it's
Clarify,
separate
like if we don't even know
Who are the,
who's doing what.
Actually, they could probably, SVT could probably just tell us which lands they're monitoring.
yeah, so should that be its own?
No, that's
No.
part of the plan.
You think that's
They-
part of the plan.
We have
Leave it as is.
something.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
I don't know how we survived this one.
It's true, but what if, what if something happens and they go back and they say,
What's gonna
what the
happen?
heck
What's
is
gonna
this?
happen?
Right.
What's gonna happen?
Really, the
Well,
problem
like
is.
Steve found that clearing and a bonfire right off, and it's like, oh, whose
I
is
come to
that?
find out that was on private land, so it doesn't
Yeah.
apply here, but it was a clearing. So
But we weren't sure.
Cutting trees, but you're right, you're exactly right, it can happen anywhere,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, goal 2,
Mhm.
Yep.
Does everybody know what open space, I figured out what open space linkages are, but is it clearer? Who is this written for? Is it for the common person? Do we want to say connection of open space parcels?
which one are you looking at?
B, goal 1B.
Link existing,
1B.
goal 1.
Yeah, if this is just for us and we know what it means, then that's that. But if this is for the common resident,
You can't hurt, you can put like a parentheses and describe. But I think really the purpose is for it to be for a document for you guys to.
Right,
use.
it kind of a guideline for us.
Nobody ever
Okay.
reads this, and we
Right.
hardly read it.
Yeah, we're spending your tax
Where's-
money.
where's that microphone?
Yeah, I know, I
Yeah.
noticed that we don't have
We
one.
don't have it.
So goal
Yeah.
1 looks okay?
Yes,
Okay.
goal 1 looks good.
Sounds good.
No.
Establish green.
Goal 2 looks good, goal 3 looks good, goal 4.
You're a speed reader. Establish green. Sorry, what's a greenway?
It's a travel corridor, it's a piece, it's a strip of land, like, you got this piece of land, this piece of land, wildlife interconnected, this greenway is areas that connect them together. It doesn't have to be a lineal thing, it can be a chunk of land over here, as long as you link things together, it's important.
So it's a path?
No.
It's
a-
more than a path.
It's
It's
not,
a-
in fact, it shouldn't be a path, just a natural,
Undeveloped.
Undeveloped, strip, piece of
Wildlife
land,
corridor.
linking existing natural areas together. And wildlife use it as corridor. You can put a hiking trail through there. Riparian corridors, which, river corridors are the most critical, the greatest biodiversity and important to all kinds of wildlife. But linking is important, and that's what we're trying to do all the time.
Because otherwise you have broken chunks of habitat, and animals don't really understand that and don't really like it.
So is a greenway the same thing as an open space linkage?
Well, greenway is the term, yes, that, an open space linkage is a greenway.
Yeah.
See, I learn something every time.
Everybody okay with number 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, if there are things you want to add to, it doesn't have to just be.
Trees, more recreation.
Yeah.
That's really, yeah, tree is really, yeah.
Was Tom
No, I-
Bradley
I
in that
agree.
room?
Yeah. Yeah, Roger Bradley. Oh, Tom, yeah.
Tom just, right, Tom and Sue Theron,
Okay.
so, but maybe that was the small meeting that was going on in there.
So we're in charge of increasing income from the
That's
field
really
use?
record now, it's
Yeah, some
recreation.
of these are,
Remember, this is a two-part,
Recreation,
this is
right.
a two-part.
That's their responsibility.
So number 3, I think we're all good with.
Yep. It's mostly rec. Yeah.
Hmm. 4C would be nice.
Well, one thing that has been on my mind, it has been for years, is we should look at more harvesting of timber and firewood or something, open up these woods. It's all overgrown with stuff that's not valuable. There's a resource, not only that, but not particularly good wildlife habitat. Got to get some more sun on the ground. So I think that the trouble is timber prices are way down now, and it's not a good time to be
It's gotta
doing it.
be, especially right now with all the
Right.
dead oaks.
But what we did on the
Everywhere.
Clark property is we should be doing elsewhere.
Is there any legally binding aspects to this document? Okay, good. Could, under 4A, could you replace ensure with enhance? Or something? Or just ensure universal, just enhance accessibility? Instead of saying ensure universal, just say enhance.
Good
accessibility.
suggestion.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because of Americans with Disabilities Act.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you say you want to insure it, then you're
Right.
going to make it happen to their specifications.
Right.
Universal is redundant, just if you're doing it to all individuals, it's universal. So enhance accessibility to all individuals,
Yeah.
I'd scratch universal.
What's C mean? I don't understand C.
Is that like a Friends of Berlin kind of thing, or 4C? What would that look like?
Where-
The land stewardship.
I'd scratch it.
We just said it'd be a good thing.
No, it would be a good thing if we could actually get volunteers to do something like that. How long have we been trying to put together a Trails Committee?
Yeah, I know, volunteers just.
well, this could be a way to kind of advertise it or bring awareness to it if we keep it in there.
All right, done.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you just go out and do it. I mean, you need to clear trails, you hike them.
No, I want to arrest people like you.
What's that? Take the branches off the trail?
Oh, I thought you were making trails. Or you're clearing trails.
Oh, no, we can get the 6 out of it, so people on trip. So those bikes can get by.
Yes, thank you. Tell Walter that.
That's where the hunters go.
Goal 4 looks all right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, this is planning board and stuff, how can we
Yeah, I
do
know
this?
about 5, yeah.
I know.
I'm reading the goal, like, ugh.
And we have, in a couple of instances, and had a developer give us some excess land for conservation. So we've been in contact there. 6.
Wait,
We have
so
a
what's
community
happening to
garden.
5?
There is one. Yeah.
Regulated guide.
We can,
A is done.
Should be something to enhance or continue to,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, change it to.
Or support.
Continue.
Support, continue to support the
Support.
community garden.
Support the community.
Because with the,
Oh,
right, and that's really the agricultural commission.
Right.
The community garden really isn't our thing, but we support it.
So are we changing the wording of 5, goal 5?
6A, continue to
So we're leaving
support.
5 as is,
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, it's not really us.
even though it's not us?
yes, so why should we, right, none of our business.
Regulate and guide development.
Oh, you
Right,
mean
I-
you
The
wanna
question is
scratch
whether
it?
remove goal 5.
Right,
Or-
well,
or-
the-
Or rename it, or
The only thing that we could potentially do is wetlands bylaw. That would be the only
Regulation.
regulation impact on building that we would be able to, that we potentially could.
Probably the single most important thing we could be doing
Right.
too.
And keeping it in can help with kind of other projects as well that might come out of a different area than just the Conservation Commission, and reference that it's included in the open space and rec plan, and that's kind of been thought about.
Sure.
Okay, so we're leaving it in
Yep.
with the idea of wetlands bylaw. I like it.
I mean, really, goal 6 is really the agricultural commission. But
Yeah.
again, we
Yeah.
support those things, but,
60 though is clearly in their purview, that has nothing to do with us.
right.
So scratch 60, I would say.
I just read an article that a lot of these.
You want to take it out?
Yeah, that's just not, our- that's not.
Farmers markets.
It's not
are
for us to
feeling
establish,
there's
it's
not
not
enough
conservation.
And what
not
about
enough
estab-
diversity to bring people in
It's-
so that,
it's-
you
it's
know,
ag,
they
it's
haven't
not- it's
closed
not-
down.
Right.
Somebody show up with a
I guess
box
the
of
only thing I would say
apples,
is
it just doesn't cut
Jack, we
it.
can live with that, like within, outside the boundaries of just the compound.
Do they
I'm
have
sorry,
their
say
own
that again?
plan?
We got 6D.
Yeah.
Six.
Trouble.
Yeah, but it's so far outside of what we do that,
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, like establish a community garden too.
Establish.
we already fixed
So
it.
that I don't
Right.
mind, you know.
It's already
Right, the
established.
community garden, we just changed to support.
Yep, so that'll be continued
Oh.
to support.
Yeah, which we do.
Yep.
All the plastic bags is there.
Yeah.
So they can bring their vegetables home.
That's right.
Okay.
Some of them blow away.
We gotta put a tree on top.
Do that.
Plastic bag.
So I guess my next step would be to do a similar thing, or get a copy to rec, really, and have them kind of.
Yeah.
Sure, yep.
And a lot of goals that pertain to them, and the just change.
Do you have any idea if rec believes we need more fields?
I don't know that they feel like we need more. I think they would like to improve the condition of the ones that they have.
Unfortunately, part of the way you do that is to have more, so you can rotate field use.
All right, well, you keep that to yourself.
Really? I was gonna put a big astroturf. Picture
There you
like-
go.
Your front yard?
Yeah, a square mile of astroturf.
Excellent. Rubber bat.
Your front yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, upland from the wetlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you're gonna propose a Boy Scout to put
We may
treehouse
have
with
to
plastic
fire
bags
him,
in
you
the
know.
community garden?
Yep.
Where are we going now?
April 18th.
Yeah, so the second thing,
Oh.
it's a draft agenda of the forum
Okay.
that unfortunately was scheduled during school vacation week. I didn't realize when we did.
Oh, didn't realize that,
But-
yeah.
So hopefully people can still come and share their ideas and plans.
I'm not super optimistic about attendance anyway, so
yeah.
I don't know that it would have
Yeah.
mattered,
Yeah.
but.
But this is a run through of, and depending on attendance again, we can change the plan a little bit. But the general idea would be to have all the maps, but really the open space map that shows ownership and level of protection. And those kind of layers available on a, really like that size, printed out when people walk in, and be able to look at them and interact with them in different ways, and do a similar thing with the goals and objectives that we just went through, and kind of comment and put stickers on the ones that they really agree with, or ones that maybe they don't as strongly fall in line with. And then we'll kind of give a broader overview of this process and what the open space plan is, and what's included, and kind of the outcome of it. And then this is kind of the section, the breakout groups, that depending on attendance, we can play around with a little bit. But the idea is to kind of do a deeper dive into the maps that people might have been doing as they kind of stumbled in, and talk about how they use open space for recreation and preservation, opinions on scenic routes and different kind of locations, so that we'll get at that map that we were looking at a little bit last time. Conversation about playgrounds and rec fields and facilities, and wants and needs and things like that. And then the last topic, connectivity, walking and hiking and biking. The idea being to kind of rotate through each of those four. People would split up into a table and cycle through those. And then at the end of that, kind of report back out with their findings from their table and share them with the larger group. And all of this will kind of be included really in 2 chapters later in the plan, and this is all part of the plan that's required. We have to finish by June 30th.
Right.
So that's kind of why we pushed the survey out as quickly as we did and are running this as quickly as we are. And so those comments will be captured and written up into a nice narrative.
Excellent. So I just wrote myself a note to post that this is happening on the website, and I'll put it where the survey is, so that those will
Okay.
be next to each other. And probably like Monday the 15th or something, I'll post it on Facebook as well.
Okay. Would it be helpful if we put together kind of like a 1-page advertisement?
Sure.
Here it is.
Yeah, that'd be
What
great.
is scenic routes and locations?
Yeah, so that was kind of getting at, I wish I had a copy of it with me now, but the scenic locations and unique features map that we were kind of quickly looking at last time, that was really just only items that showed up on a historic register is really what's on there now, because it's just pulled from Mass GIS data. So it could really, it's kind of flexible, to be honest.
It doesn't make much sense to me, actually, but.
I think it kind of gets to goal 5 in some degree, some way, shape, or form. Talking about just kind of the aesthetic character of town in different areas, and what areas people particularly like or spend time at. So it's kind of general.
Presentation. Provide a more comprehensive overview of the project.
Yeah.
What project?
So that would be
Plan.
kind of the
The
plan
plan.
itself,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the preliminary findings
Yep. So that'll be.
is the survey results?
Yep, it'll be the survey results, and we've started to pull a bunch of data for some of the earlier chapters, and we can talk about some of that. We can show all the maps, the goals, and the objectives.
I see this, this is fine further into Boston or something, but I look at this, I don't see anything that, to me, the priority, we protect land and natural areas for ecological reasons, clean water, wildlife, biodiversity. There's none of that in here. It's recreation or, everything from walking, playgrounds, this routes and location thing doesn't make any sense at all. But when preserve open space, we should be preserving it in Berlin for the natural for wildlife and biodiversity, nature.
Would it work to?
All right, naturalness.
Yeah, kind of in that first bullet, maybe to expand on.
I think you
What
should.
preservation
That's my
means.
view. I don't know how anybody else feels, but that message, we look like we're, just a bunch of recreationists looking to make trails, which there's nothing wrong with that. But
It's not the goal.
it's not the goal.
So maybe we could even take out recreation in the first one.
I would take recreation out of the first one.
Because it's already in there in the third.
Protect open space for wildlife and clean water and, biodiversity
Right,
in
open
general.
space for wildlife, habitat,
Right, habitat's a good word to have in there. Habitat for wildlife.
and clean drinking water.
Yeah, clean
And-
streams, clean streams.
Right, but also because
Clean
our,
swamps, too.
our water does come from our
Right.
groundwater, we're all on wells.
Yeah.
So,
Clean swamps.
we need
and
clean
water.
swamps.
You want both, and land too, I mean, people are contaminating land with, not just
Right.
the water.
Clean water. Pristine land or something like that. Not a dump.
Natural lands, natural areas.
Yep. Wildlife habitat, clean water, and natural areas.
There you go.
Yep.
That's good enough for me. Good, you're articulate.
That's why you made me chair.
Where is this being held?
Here,
Just our room?
the room across the hall.
Is it? I'm trying to remember. Is it 226 or so? I'll check when I walk out just to make sure.
Yeah.
Make a flyer. That's
Yes.
the one on the end on the right.
Yeah, that one that we met in.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
that lonely evening.
Make
I
sure
think that's 227 and 217. I know there was.
I think it's
7.
227,
Yeah.
yeah.
27? Okay.
Yep,
Double check. Okay. So yeah, we'll put together a little flyer advertising
awesome,
time, date, location, all that fun stuff.
excellent.
Report out. So you need a bunch of moderators. Who's gonna moderate?
Yeah, so that's one thing. Ideally, if you all can attend, or again, it's totally dependent on who shows up as well and how tables get broken.
Right.
Don't need to be.
You'll still be away, right?
Mhm.
I can show up.
Yep. And I will be there, and I have told the rec committee,
Mhm.
so we will certainly remind them.
Right, is this Thursday night?
Thursday the 18th.
No, it's a Thursday, Thursday the 18th. We meet Wednesday the 17th, and then this is the next night.
Back to vacation, so. I can try, but I don't know if work's gonna allow me.
Right, and we said it's 7, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need anything that we don't already have? Any maps or any pictures or any,
If you have photos,
I mean, those we can use?
Right.
yep, yeah, we'll print out, and bring maps that we can mark up and draw
Yeah.
over and all that good stuff. But yeah, if you have photos to include in the plan, they're also to include in the kind of
Right.
presentation as well, is one other thing.
Did we talk about, I think I talked about volunteering you to do this, but I don't know that we actually talked to you about it.
No.
We need photographs of Berlin for the open space plan.
Oh, Marty was,
Yeah. Similar to what's already in here. Here, if you would pass that back to Keith.
Sure.
The creator of that document is no longer, we can't get those pictures.
Okay.
And we should definitely also talk to Marty Miller, because he'll have a bunch. He's kind of the town photographer.
he probably took most of it.
Do you think so, even back then? Okay.
I will coordinate with Marty.
Okay, do you know
After
him?
Walter introduces us.
Well, Walter's gonna be away, so that
Good soon.
might fall to me,
What'd
but
you
yeah.
say? Good riddance?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do it soon.
Oh, I got you. Excuse me.
Wow, what they're hearing. Got that on tape.
Walter, I would never say.
The only other thing with that, I
Out
guess,
loud.
when you if you could like write the name of the property or the description of roughly where, and then where
Sounds
to
like
kind
a
of
plan.
slap it in. Cool.
Okay.
If you leave a small deposit, you can take the book with you. We only have a handful of them, so they're precious. I always instill upon everybody who takes them.
Is there an electronic version?
No.
That's why.
No, that's why, that's why we can't get the pictures. No, I will trust you. I know where you live.
I'm
I
with
hear
you.
people walk in your front door all the time.
Yep, yep.
You can trust me.
I'm gonna lay a map out and show, because it's all relevant to this. You guys through? Don't leave, but I wanna show you a map.
Sure. Yeah, I think we're good with everything that I wanted to. I'll follow, like I said, follow up with recreation to just get them a copy of this and make sure
Okay.
they can look at
Awesome.
that.
Excellent. Cool.
Oh, that's pretty.
This is a work in progress. I'm not happy with the color coding yet, but still working on it with Central Mass. But what this started out as, you know, I've shown you the series of maps of ecological infrastructure. So think of it in different layers. The first layer being all the hydrology, surface hydrology.
Yeah, that map you saw the other day was awesome.
Yeah, ranging from, you know, in including the River Protection Act zones, wetlands, vernal pools, the Aspet, the North Brook, all its tributaries, some seeps. And then layer 2 would be all land that is already protected in perpetuity. And be it town-owned, the green, town-owned CRs, or whether it be either Hudson, SVT, or the state, like, for example, the flood control projects, SVT, Hudson, or town land, well, his town land that's non-conservation. So that kind of eliminates anything that we can possibly protect. It's already protected, either by law or by something we purchase. So then, what's left? You think, well, boy, you got a lot of white, well, start to put the housing in there.
I know, it's
So,
it's a little
I've got
shocking,
another-
I have to
Yeah.
say,
I've got
looking
another
at that.
series of,
Just all of the development.
so I
I mean,
said,
it's all along the
Potential
roads,
in the
but,
white.
so I
Yeah.
said to, Central Mass there, Matt France, who's great to work with, and put in all of the polygons of existing structures and all of the lots that are associated with them that are fully developed, like if nothing else can happen on those lots, color them yellow. And that's what all the yellow is, and there are some areas, and then I went back, so there was a lot more yellow on here than you see, but then I went back and started looking at areas, this was all yellow because there's a house on it. Well, really, there's an area we could look at. This whole area here is white, but particularly like, this farm here, this area at the corner of Linden and Lyman is important. This farm down here, this pretty vast area in here, which a lot of rock, which is Balance Rock, the quarry land. Now the quarry was all yellow, and since talking with Andy Forrest, this is the quarry and all the crushes and everything else. I said, look, take the yellow out of here, because this is all steep slopes. There's a vernal pool here, and he said they'll never get over there. It's something, if we can work something else to preserve Balance Rock, maybe even this eventually. But then there's Hog Swamp. So what this does is help us focus, where could we be looking to buy land? Bing, bing. This is Slade is developing all of this.
right, here.
Yep.
And so is this lot ends here, right, though? That's a lot line?
I think,
No, that's our property. So that's the line that runs behind us. We're right here, but there's the two lots that come this way. So they're building right here.
Yep.
But Buddy owns, Balance Rock owns all of this right along here.
well, it's right here, it's this lot right here.
Right,
There's the
that's-
property lines, you live in this lot right here. And this is the railroad's lot right there.
Okay, so this is the lot right here.
Yeah, that Buddy owns.
Yep.
Right.
So, anyway, anywho, and then but this is all commercial, but there's no water and storage, so there's very limited what you can do in there, very ledgy. So anyway, get the color straightened out a little bit more, so the opportunity areas stand out a little bit better, but clearly you could almost prioritize them, 1, 2, of potential protection. So anyway, I just wanted to show you.
Yeah, this is a great map.
Great, and I love the vernal pools.
Right, so this one we can X out.
Well,
We went up there.
I'm not sure, because I think the one we looked at might be over in here. So I meant to check this out, because the house set right here, and I think it's fairly close behind the house, so we need to stop and listen.
Do you guys hear any peepers up over by Pisgah? Or wood frogs?
I haven't heard them.
They don't
I haven't heard
get
them.
down that
We
way.
usually get them up behind us, but that's when the pool
I
comes.
get otherwise on tonight.
As a final product, will Matt kind of code some of those particular properties, where they'll stay,
He's got them all
they'll stay
coded right
white?
here.
But I mean, the priority,
No.
No,
It is
no,
Okay.
we don't do
That's
that.
not-
That-
So
we
that's
don't
the one that we
publicly
need to
announce it.
find.
We were looking at a
We're
space
trying to
right
keep
here.
it
Okay, I thought
quiet until later.
I expected to walk further into the woods the other night than we did.
Yeah, but that's nowhere, that's pretty far away from
Set it
where
up.
we're looking.
Okay,
You can prioritize all you want, but the bird in the hand's worth two in the bush. Somebody comes along and
Yeah.
grab it, and that's been mostly targets of opportunity is what we've been
so I guess
relying on.
my next question after that is if
so
you
these
want
two
to
would be,
explicitly
Where they-
call out those property names within the plan as areas to pursue, and maybe you don't because of exactly what you just said.
I don't know if people have put the names of the.
right,
Yeah.
maybe addresses, but certainly
If you
not.
took this and put
Right.
circles or something, areas to focus, like there's no focusing over here. This one here is as safe as being protected, but we certainly hopeful in the future can get the development, the APR rights on that.
Right. Yeah, so, but you could, put something in that we're working with Central Mass Mapping to help us focus prioritizing land to
Explain exactly this
protect.
process.
Yeah, exactly.
Without saying where.
Right. Right.
You know, here's a large white area. It's great habitat, but, you know,
Yeah,
sit here in
that's
a
all.
deer stand, you can hear yourself think the road is just terrible, you know?
Yeah.
and,
Look at this. Yeah.
Oh, boy. So anyway, that's it. We're looking at these two lots right now. Rhodes is into that one.
Yep.
So that'll connect us up. This has got to be CR colored because that's a agricultural preservation that goes with
Shartner.
Shartner Farm.
Yeah.
But, then some of these areas that are white, I'm just gonna have them color them in yellow. There's no need, we never want to. There should be yellow. There's a few corrections coming up, but other than that,
I like it.
Now, is this the map that you, because I believe I saw you recently at CMRPC with that. Is this the
Yeah.
excuse me, is this the product?
yep. Yep. You can feel free, you know,
Right,
feel
so
free to work with Matt,
I'll definitely bug
whatever you wanna do.
what's this property?
Let me see, where, this is
So
Hudson, oh, this is
behind
the solar
Brookline.
farm.
Oh,
This
okay.
is the solar farm up in here, right in this area here.
Okay.
And then he
No,
has this, no,
Wheeler.
Wheelers.
This is River Road.
Yeah. Indian Head. So is this Indian Head also? Oh, is,
So you're saying it's solar?
that's where the
Solar
solar
farm.
field
Solar
is.
Big solar farm in there, in the woods
It's
there.
the first one that's.
First one in Berlin.
Have you've never seen it?
Google it, look up.
Just
look at the area
pay
map.
attention when you're driving down
This-
River Road.
This is Bob.
It's not the woods.
Yeah, you don't really see it up there.
That was one of the restrictions, was you wouldn't see it from the road. That was one of the conditions.
I forget his name,
Right.
Bob. He lives there anyway, but he owns this.
It's good
The
size.
power line goes across there, but this, you know, between the wetlands, we could probably pick that up. We own this was given to us. This isn't worth, there's no need to protect that, it's landlocked, it's wetlands, it's a pasture, you can't do anything with it anyway, so whether it's privately owned or we own it, doesn't matter.
John lives there, right?
What is he talking about now?
At the end of Estabrook.
You know, he lives
What
over
about,
here.
what's your question about it? Or is he just-
There's
Well, we're trying to
land
figure
that
out how
we're
we can get
trying-
rid of it.
It's right
It's a
there.
forest
It's
fire
like
area.
landlocked.
You live right there.
You're not supposed to have the access to the information, Walter.
What access information?
I'm gonna have to get a restraining order.
I
Yeah, that land, that's interesting. That land acts like it's, actually, wait a minute. Yeah, that land acts like it is, oh, wait, that's a field.
Right,
Yeah, okay,
right.
yeah. That's a field. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's Curtis owns that.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know, that would go with the house, with the
Is he
farm.
still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would go with the whole property.
I approached the owner, David Ross, offered him something for that. He turned around and sold it to Curtis for the same price, so I don't do anything with David Ross. I never helped him out at all.
The surveyor?
Oh, I shouldn't do one recorded here.
But
Because he's come before us.
that's
Yeah.
almost like yellow though, because the house and that property are pretty connected. And that you can't do anything else back there.
What are you talking about?
This.
Yeah, I know what you mean, you're right, you're right.
That should be
It's same,
yellow.
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
good work, Walter.
Yeah.
So-
But let's leave this here because we're going to talk about vernal
All
pools.
right.
Um,
Yeah, poor Matt, you know, we gotta send him a letter or something. I mean, I was up there 2.5 hours, and I was, so he's on there friggin' away, and we were working away at it, you know, and he does a great job.
Yeah, he's very good at what he does.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys, yeah, thanks.
Thank
Yeah.
See you on the 18th.
All right, well, vernal pool season has begun.
Yay.
I know So I guess we should kind of figure out who's gonna do what. Are we gonna try and do things in teams? Or people just gonna kind of say, oh, I'll take care of that one that we put on our list as something we're interested in, and people just go out and do it on their own?
So what you're talking about vernal pool?
Yes.
Right.
I think it's more fun to do it as a
Right,
team.
we should
and I don't
really,
feel like I know enough.
any opportunity there, grab it, you know?
Yes, this I totally agree. So maybe,
Prioritize them.
Did you guys
Uh,
identify anything the other night?
yes, so the other night, John, Walter, and I went out, and we went here, but we did not go to this vernal pool.
Okay.
We went.
Did you
sorry,
identify
Went to
it? Was
Village-
it success
Village
or?
No,
Okay.
it was beautiful water, but it was empty. So.
That vernal pool, it didn't even mark as a vernal pool. We
Yeah.
I
only saw
know,
all
That-
those,
and that's where we saw the salamanders.
Yeah.
And so.
So that's a check. Is this about right?
Don't
Yeah.
write on it.
Can we write on it?
Right, yeah, you can, because this is a working
Here,
one.
I'll let you do it.
What do you want me to write?
Make a little asterisk, make a star,
Well-
and that one's all checked out. Do you need my wood frog recording of that?
What we need,
Well, that's not all checked out. I mean, we don't have evidence of it yet.
No, we
There
don't.
probably is a vernal pool.
right there.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
salamanders
Yeah.
and,
So
You can't, you have to have eggs.
There were.
You really
Oh, I
don't, actually, so I reprinted the guidelines.
If the salamanders are in there, I thought there was spotted salamanders that long in there.
So you
Nice.
can,
were tasty.
you can
Yeah, they
certify it a couple of different ways. One is with obligate species breeding evidence, or facultative amphibian species. I know, it's very confusing about, but basically, you can have pictures of the animals in there, or
Eggs or the fairy shrimp. We need salamander eggs or fairy.
breeding evidence so you can
Watch
breed-
them congregate.
Congress is the word.
Or get the eggs
Or,
afterwards.
right.
Or get fairy shrimp. But just
Correct.
seeing a salamander, I mean, that'd be great. We should capture them and chuck them around in different pools.
He was kidding. We'll talk about this later. But like the picture we took of the wood frog eggs in the pool behind you may be enough.
Were those wood frogs?
Just those,
Did you
yeah.
determine
The-
that?
I did, I have the book in my car.
did you hear the wood frogs
Yeah.
when you went to this vernal pool?
I forget. We heard them behind my house.
I think wood frogs
Tell the truth.
Wood frogs are the first to breed,
Yeah.
and the fact that they were so early and they look like wood frog eggs in the book is how I determined that.
Last night I went down there, it wouldn't have peaked, the temperature was just cold enough, you know, there was
Yeah.
nothing going on.
Yep.
I think it was right across from Lisa's
So
house.
this
That's
is
where
in
they were.
Walter's backyard.
People like crazy. I thought they were, was in town here.
Lovely.
Wow.
Right?
I did too, actually, honestly, yeah. I thought there'd be a few old rusted tractors.
antiques or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah. No, it's pretty park-like back there.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. So those are the wood frog eggs in Walter's backyard.
Where's the 40 caves on this?
40 Caves is the end of Allen Road, so, yeah. All in here.
I know I've heard about.
That was
I
there.
did hear
Yeah.
the wood frogs
Oh, yeah.
here
Oh, it
and
was just,
recorded them, but it
old
sounds like
road.
I need to
Yeah.
get some
Have you
pictures
been
of
up there
it.
yet? 40 K?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can get these, but is there any reason, I mean,
No,
there's really no point in it.
no. Slade is developing this anyway. He's leaving, you know, he's gonna put it all, focus it in the middle and leave strips around, greenways around it.
So this doesn't really help us.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Yep.
Right, so the list that I had Great Oak Farm, which we can do during the day. Although it would be kind of neat to get some salamanders. Lyman and Linden, Ball Hill and Captiva. What? You're such a pain. Right here.
People's backyard, yeah.
That's the fire hole.
Right,
That's a fire hole.
okay. So we had that as,
The fire hole is a vernal pool, is that what you're, where you're going?
we had that as
Tell us
one
fire
of
there's a
the places on our list
That'll work.
that we had focused on.
Yeah. how does
That we were
work?
gonna focus on. There was also, we said there was one near Boundless Adventures. So where is that? That's here.
Right here.
Here, I don't, so are you thinking here?
Well, that's the pond, and, I mean, that whole thing has just always been loaded with frogs. I don't know about the salamanders, but,
This.
yeah.
Wood frogs, because
Yeah.
that's the one we need.
And then there's a smaller, more of a vernal pool just below it. Just, this is the dam right here, and then just below it is a vernal pool.
So what about these? What about this?
No, nothing will ever happen in there. This is a nice,
Yeah,
this is
that's what we
built
got.
No,
out
it's
here,
not.
but
What's that?
these are
We
two
have a
nice
tree- wait a
big
minute.
ponds.
Yeah.
We used to call it
Little
eyeglass
tree
ponds,
frog.
and loaded with frogs. I mean, you can register them, but there's no,
No need.
there's no need to.
These are
because,
brown.
It won't do us any
Ours are
good
the
as far
ones
as
we have.
controlling.
Right.
Like the tree frogs.
So this, for sure.
Yeah.
We need to get out and find this one.
Yeah.
Why would you do a fire pond?
No, I have a tree frog.
I'm just reading the list.
I know, I'm just saying, why would you even consider that? Because, you know, they're
Right.
gonna dredge it.
We were all together when I came up with this list.
Okay. Maybe I was sleeping
Is that the
there.
vodka
Maybe.
meeting?
That might have
That's
been the
already-
vodka
that's already
meeting,
happened.
They try to
Or the
spread
tequila
those
meeting.
there.
So if they
Won't
do,
Won't that help
And they're gonna
us?
dredge it
if We
to keep
have
enough water
those
in it for a
registered.
well, it's a lot, there's probably two lots right here. This is a nice field there. That's where, we think there was the shanty town for the workers on the.
On the dam?
Aqueduct.
Oh, the aqueduct.
Yeah, and then there's quite a steep knoll going over, and these two are kind of settled down in there. It's kind of neat. And you couldn't build anywheres around these. You
Right,
could build out
so
here.
certifying these wouldn't change the protection value.
It wouldn't
is what-
benefit us as far
Right.
as controlling, nobody,
But
they can build out here and
wouldn't
it
it
won't
give
impact
us
it.
100 feet?
But the
Like-
pond already gives us 100 feet.
Oh, okay.
It's not gonna give us an
100
additional.
feet thing is actually not what you think it is.
Prohibitive. It doesn't prohibit.
Yeah, no,
Right.
it's not what you think it is.
What it does is it prohibits building up to the edge of an isolated land subject to flooding.
Like we saw earlier.
Right. So that's really what it does.
So is it worth it for that?
No, not
Because
on
it's
this,
already
because it's
pond.
already protected,
Okay,
yeah.
so we want the ones that aren't in ponds already.
Yeah, it's
Or
interesting.
on protected land already.
Yeah. so this
Oh,
is already-
right.
Right.
So the white.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
fine with that.
You look good in the jumpsuit.
Thank you. Actually, ours-
Well, you can like take audio recording from the street. Works.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
argue with that.
I mean, if you can just,
All right, so are we reducing our list to this right here for this year?
Oh, and the one outside the Eagle thingy.
Yeah, that, yes.
Yeah, I can do that tomorrow. I'm not gonna have enough energy tonight, but I can do that tomorrow night or Friday night. I'll pop down there. Put in some plastic salamanders.
I heard the wood frogs, but then it was too cold. But I didn't,
Oh, no, we saw salamanders, man. There's gotta be some eggs there any day now.
that would be great.
It took, last year, it took a couple of weeks.
For the eggs to show up?
For the eggs to really be visible.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there might be some wood frog eggs, or maybe some fairy
a
shrimp.
couple of weeks, I thought
Yeah,
this
the
was
fairy
just a
shrimp.
few days.
That's kinda cool.
What's that?
I thought this all happened within a few days. not a
The,
few
the
weeks.
actual mating of the salamanders does, but the evidence, the egg masses, you know, you can.
Couple weeks.
You can take pictures of it with water in it in the spring and then dry in the summer, so there's a whole bunch of,
We have to prove the thing dries out.
right. So, yeah, so.
Scott Goddard's good at that kind of
No permanently flowing outlet is, somewhere last year I thought I read no inlet or outlet, but, so permanently flowing outlet, because I was worried about the one
It's
there.
intermittent.
Yeah.
Right, it's intermittent, exactly. So,
And there's clearly critters in there because we saw.
yeah, we definitely saw salamanders there.
The inlet outlet thing is so fish don't get into it and eat the
If you want that,
tadpoles.
you can have that, I have
I do
another
have a
copy.
copy of
Oh,
the
okay,
from the last one, or 2 meetings ago.
yeah.
So not the ones on the white?
If you can get permission from the landowner.
All right. I
Yeah,
thought he
isn't
said
that-
we could walk it.
He
kinda
he's
did,
talking
right?
about,
Yeah.
Pat.
he said if it's not posted, you can just wander. in.
Legally, that is, yeah. Right, if it's the woods.
If it's the woods that's not posted, you can just pretend you're lost and wander up there.
Right,
Right.
right.
Yeah, like this one here, I wouldn't want to, irritate the owner because we're trying to figure out how to
Do other
find
things,
the
yeah.
development.
Yep.
This is being developed here, this is pretty swampy. Whether we add these pools, you got you get all this other, well, these could be important in the middle there. There's a road going
Those are
in.
creepy little things, aren't they?
Well, the other one is
They're noisy.
The great tree frogs?
Yeah. They come
In the
my
summer?
pool- They'll come in my pool before I take the cover off.
These,
Oh,
might
my.
be
Climb up
probably
on
worth.
the back porch. and hang out
Yeah,
under the
well,
grill.
isn't that the same owner?
No, no.
That's great.
This is,
This is Slade.
yeah.
And, all these, there's one on the border, but the rest of these are
Right.
Slade and this is Duncan. And there's quite a big,
That's
like
what
big
I don't like, is we have our pool
pools
is
up
not
in
the
that
drain
area.
kind,
there.
it's the tarp.
Right. Do we
Over
know
top,
who
above
owns
ground
that piece
pool.
of property?
Oh, the frogs get in, they lay their eggs.
No,
They don't have time to develop before you get the cover
Or
off.
the-
find out easily, no.
So it's
Yeah.
kinda like bush tadpoles, everything. If you want some, we get our bucket
So
filled.
do we have a plan or not? I feel like not, but.
Feels like not
I'll
from here.
I'll support you and go with you. I don't know.
No, I'm gonna give you this, that you and John are gonna do this one. You can roll out of bed and be there. And I will I'll work on this. You're pretty much out of it
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
So when are you doing these, in the wee hours of the morning or the late hours of the
You
night?
can do it during the
No,
daylight.
You can do it during the daylight. You don't get pictures of the salamanders doing their thing because
Converse.
they're,
Because they do it at night.
exactly.
They're shy.
So that's the reason
They're sensitive.
for, right. But as far as finding egg masses, that can definitely be done during the day.
Fairy shrimp.
Fairy shrimp during the day.
The tree frog's easier to see at night.
The peepers,
No, the tree frogs are easier to see. They're two different species, right?
there's wood frogs.
Wood frogs,
And
I meant the wood
peepers.
frogs.
Okay,
My
yeah,
mistake, my
yeah.
apologies. But they're easy to see, they're easier to see at night.
Yes,
so.
yep. Yeah, the other night.
Yeah, and you shine a light.
The other night, at one
eyeballs.
point, I shined my
Yeah.
flashlight out and there was like 12 pairs of eyes. Little mini, like the alligators,
Yeah, yeah.
but like mini versions.
Cute.
It's-
Yep.
Peepers are really hard to see.
Yeah,
What does a peeper look like?
And he said that
peepers are tiny.
it's not the sort of thing we can go during the day and leave like a GoPro and then come back the next day. Like we have to.
The GoPro, I don't think that would work. I mean,
It wouldn't work.
yeah. It's really, all you need is a strong flashlight.
Okay.
Camera, it lit up pretty well.
Yeah,
I was surprised by how easy it was to see,
Okay.
I'm not a techie, what's a GoPro?
It's a really small waterproof camera, and originally when you guys were talking about this, I had fantasies of actually taking a drone. It's like putting a camera and a little flashlight that are really light, so we can actually fly in there with a drone, place it down, and leave it, and then come back and pick it back up. And I'm confident that I could do that
I think you're gonna
technology-wise.
scare the salamander.
Well, we would leave it, that's what I mean, we could, oh yeah, maybe salamanders. But I think we had to catch them actually doing something, not just their presence there.
Right, and you can do that, like, if you want to come to my house tonight, we will see them
Okay.
doing their thing. How much, we'll see, you know, but there's definitely, so the other night when I went home,
Carolyn was right here.
I just,
But that
I-
doesn't, that's already been identified as a vernal pool, right? Or-
it's not
Yeah,
certified.
but it's not
But it,
certified.
right, but, so it depends on, I guess, your goal. Do you want to see them, or?
No, my goal was to,
His goal to help us do
Yeah.
Your goal is to
something.
deliver coffee and donuts, and you have failed miserably.
look, I'm gonna take pictures. I'm in charge of MySpace for
Right.
this group, so, or Facebook, one of those two, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Neither can we, so that's all right.
Right, but when I went home the other night, I just like walked over, shined my little flashlight in there, and there were like 20 of them right there, 20
cool.
salamanders.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd
yep,
like to see
they're
that.
super easy to see, and
All right.
I like
you
that
don't
picture
even
you
need
sent.
waiters.
Let's,
This is all I have,
And the
this is the, right, I mean, I'm done,
Oh, I
but
have
I
one-
still
I
don't,
have one-
okay,
one
I still don't
37.
feel like we have a plan.
oh, well, the plan, we can go there tomorrow night, after work. Just give me a
What
buzz.
time?
I don't know, whenever I get home.
What time do you get home?
That depends on how bad the day is.
So I don't mind
7?
taking this one on, but I don't know,
I don't know.
Sure, I'm here, so.
I'm not familiar enough with this
7:30.
property.
7:30.
Here's the way I would do
Tomorrow.
it. We went in up here the other night and walked
Yeah.
down it. We'll come down,
Tomorrow.
drive up Lyman Road to where the
I'll be
house was
quick, though.
torn down,
Okay.
which is right here. And then just walk and see if you hear anything or anything. Or look down,
Right,
just
so
go
the
down
other
low
night,
end.
we did stop over here.
Yes, I stopped and
Right,
get out.
and we didn't
walk.
hear anything.
Right, that's right.
So,
But we weren't very close to it. Well,
How far off the road?
Should have heard it if it was there.
Do you think?
I'll go
That
with
is-
you on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, there was just something weird. I don't know.
right.
And
We
me
definitely,
too.
there's something down here where they're just super loud.
Yeah, they're just people.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
30 seconds.
Yep.
So I finally got an NOI number.
Yes, I saw that
Oh,
email today.
you also got, saw it?
Yeah.
Okay, so for the minutes, are
Yeah, I'm listening.
the trail maintenance, the Conservation Commission trail maintenance standing NOI is
Remember when
107
we applied for that?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
107,
dash 0242.
0242. Can I see everything?
Yeah, I don't even remember either, but anyway, we got a number.
No, I missed it. I assume he's here for a reason.
I think deliver food.
Oh, that's it?
No bribery.
What do they call this now? Trail maintenance, NOI? Yeah.
It should say the description of what it's called on there somewhere.
That's relevant.
No? What did we call it? A standing order of conditions for trail maintenance.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
standing OOC.
Yeah.
Standing OOC.
And, yeah.
I like
See it on there? I
that.
don't see it on there.
Thank you.
Weird.
That's the next
What?
time you see it. It is weird, but
Yeah, that's okay, it's good.
it's good enough. Or, I don't know, actually, I don't know if it's associated with the NOI or the OOC. but We're more worried about the OOC.
Conditions, yeah. We got NOI in here.
Did you want to talk to us? Or you're just hanging out?
You asked me to come.
Did we?
Good response.
Really? When was that?
Lancaster Road.
30.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, it was
yeah,
the
yeah.
scout uniform that threw me off.
I get that all the
Sorry,
time.
yeah, no,
Ham,
because,
roast
Thinking
beef, and
Eagle
turkey.
Scouts.
there you go.
Boy. Yeah.
Yes,
It's been
I'm
a-
sorry, it's,
No, that's
yeah.
fine. It's been a while since I've been confused with someone that, yeah, that's fine.
No, we've been working with two different
Eagles.
scouts who are going for their Eagle.
You know, today was well, we do our scout meetings first and third Wednesdays downstairs, which occasionally you
Same.
may hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it ends at 8 to 8:30.
got it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, right, so
these
the
were
land swap.
These were the two maps that we had come up with.
Right.
12 Lancaster Road,
Yeah.
right at the split with Randall, across from Jermaine's place.
Karen's old house.
Find my glove I lost up there?
Never did. Deer have been coughing like a...
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong place. Yeah, so I'm up here, oh, right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a little box.
Right.
How many years ago did I start to talk to you about that? Must have been 10.
Right. Karen's only been gone for a little while. So currently, John, this is the way his lot is shaped. And there's this piece of property in between
Tax
Yeah,
title.
the tax title.
that we, right. And it's just woods. There's
an
nothing
old
there.
foundation in there with a hole, and I'd love to town to come in and throw a whole bunch of fill in there at some point so that kids don't get hurt, but that aside.
Right.
So the tax title in this
Is, no, it's this one here, this lot 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
so when the land was originally subdivided, that was the original intended location for the house, but it violated one of the clauses in the sale, so the foundation was put in. It wasn't until after we moved in that we convinced the DPW to come in and break down the foundation. It's been sitting there for going on 40 years. So it's still in place, but collapsed, so at least you can't get trapped inside it. And then they built the house I'm in.
Lot.
Lot 5.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, and the property is actually Lot 5 and 5A, this back half.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So Lot 4, the developer stopped paying taxes on it back in the late 70s. The town took it in the late 90s, I think it was around 96 to 99.
It's been that long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
it's
the
been a
same
while.
true for this other lot that?
No,
is the
this-
name on
these
it,
are
though?
all, most of these have been built out.
Okay, I just saw the same name on it, that's all.
Yeah, this was all the same developer. It was 1972. I think they bought this whole slug of land from the Germains and started building up in 74.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so even since then, this shows where Lancaster Road was back in the day. It since was expanded almost 10 feet in width, and so all these front markers had disappeared. We've managed to locate all of these rear markers, walking all the way down here, and then all of these were defined as to the midpoint of the brook.
Oh,
So I went out with a guy I know in town that's a surveyor, and we dropped in some posts to get an idea where the property lines actually were. But yeah, there's no way to properly identify this because it's somewhere in the middle of the road at this point.
When, the last time that I'm sorry, I forget your name. Matt, last time I talked to Matt, I went with a proposition, he's interested in this, he wants a garage and it, gives him more frontage up here. And I figured we could swap him this, so we'd have a trail down through and this land down near the water and connect to our other existing land. This is a good trout stream in here.
It's beautiful back
I
in
doubt if
here.
anybody would ever go down there, but that would be,
I push hunters out of that area all the time.
Do you?
They have a tendency to start over here and conservation come across the train tracks. There's an old stone wall that comes across and right behind my lot, jogs across the stream. So I post back there and I've taken down multiple blinds, reported, and then found we had shell casings back there a couple of years ago. Took care of that. And the neighbor Bohan's back there.
Yeah,
Those hunters, huh?
right?
Hey, it's great. Every once in a while I get part of a deer.
so this is the 5A that's here all the way up to the road? Is
Yes.
that-
Yes.
Okay, and that's
Yeah. And
Right.
so
So,
the
right.
proposition was for
this, for that, or for 5A?
almost. So 4 is actually significantly smaller than 5A.
This is not.
So this area, the areas that are shaded, give it to be slightly better than a one-for-one swap. And what,
So this, just this area? then?
yep, and that and 4A are, this is actually a little bit smaller. 4A is a little bit smaller than
That's
that
the
area.
area. This is a stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike,
That's the stream.
put a trail back there years ago. My kids loved going out back and hanging down by the brook. They were there for half a Saturday.
That's awesome.
Beautiful back here.
Well,
There's
they
a
can
little, there's a
still,
little ravine out in this area, which is, great place for a little camping site.
they can still go down there. We welcome kids on our conservation land, the more the better. So
But
what is
getting
the
access
square
would have to be
footage?
from over here.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
If we didn't maintain this easement. And I think that's kind of the contentious thing right there. You're
That's part
not
of the
super
property.
excited
I'm
about
not looking at
that?
giving that up. There's very limited on-street parking right now, and not interested in seeing that area get more abused and people coming in to look at it. So this is about protecting the brook and getting the back half, not additional access through that area.
So what's your proposal?
That
This?
this,
Yeah.
we
Which is,
get,
yeah.
and he gets this.
Yeah, one for
Oh,
one.
yeah.
That
Well,
one's over to the right.
this is frontage, don't forget. This is down in the wetlands.
There's
In a brook.
There's brook there.
It's
There's no-
down,
there's
it's
no
back,
wetlands
it's
off there.
backland, it's basically because there's no real frontage to get in and do anything with it. The land's worth nothing. This is worth
That's
quite a
also-
bit
that's
to
also
add to
worth
the,
nothing. It's also worth
It
nothing.
doesn't have the frontage
Yeah, you can't
to
do
build.
anything.
As it is,
What's
you'd have to
the
get an
existing lot?
exemption, you'd have to get an exemption to build on there, and it's owned by the town.
It's a non-buildable lot.
Right, I
And
know
even if
that.
someone
I
came in
know
and
that.
tried to build it.
But
I
it's
can
quite an
grant it.
addition, it makes a big difference up in this area.
Well, it proves his value, the two of them together.
It
proves his
shouldn't be a
value.
one
Right.
by one. It shouldn't be a one by
Well,
one.
this is no ecological,
should,
this
get
has no
more.
habitat for us at all. So
Right.
it's actually useless for us.
Right,
This is.
right. But the value of it, well, I wouldn't say that's a useless habitat, it's a natural area, but, it should be.
Okay, so,
So I get a slight functional benefit in gaining this, and you gain an ecological benefit. That's the trade-off. This isn't about increasing property.
No, it
value.
isn't.
Nothing about
I
frontage.
wouldn't go for an even swap. I mean, that's, you're getting a hell of a bargain. This is a frontage lot. This is worth a lot more money.
A lot
but
more
it's
money
not
to-
buildable.
It's not a buildable lot, it's not a splittable lot.
It's worth more to that, Carolyn. Why should we
Right.
be trading frontage land for backland even on even? It doesn't make sense. Defies common sense. I'd like to pull a deal off like that.
I kind of disagree, but that's okay.
What do you think?
I mean, at a minimum, I'd go up to the bottom of that lot. I don't think it's a hard decision.
So you said there's two different proposals
Yeah,
here?
basically, there was a third I left back on the page, which carries this across, and the line moves back 20 feet, just to square it off.
Why do you want all these white areas here? Why do you want to own that?
So, nice thing about this for my family, my kids love camping. The idea is to put a platform back there and create a semi-permanent camping site as they're getting bigger, that they can go in there and pitch their tent on the platform whenever they want. I can do that on my property, I can't go and set something permanent up on conservation land. This is the one that we slightly prefer because there's a lovely little spillover on the brook that midsummer turns into a island and in the fall turns into a little peninsula.
Are you saying you want this?
Yes.
piece?
I'm saying
Absolutely not.
I own this today.
Oh,
And I'm not
correct,
giving that
yeah,
up.
Yeah.
okay.
That's what I'm saying,
Well,
which is what I said 2 years ago.
oh yeah, I thought that we were swapping that for this, and that's,
That was
we do
never,
it, but
that
if
was
we
never the
can't,
proposal.
it's my proposal.
This
It's what I
is-
proposed to you.
This is what I proposed a couple of years back, and this is what I reopened the conversation with when the town posted this lot for sale. It may have been
But
by
they
mistake.
didn't.
Yeah.
They-
No, it wasn't
they
that
didn't,
lot.
And I called the realtor on that one. The realtor thought it was that lot. They
Well,
were
the
told it was
realtor
that
was
lot.
mistaken also,
But it
because,
is-
right, it wasn't that lot.
Sure.
The photographs weren't that lot. And
We
in
checked.
my work here, I have discovered that everything without an address is called zero.
Mhm.
Like right now, 0 Lyman Road
Yep.
is for sale. Well, 0 Lyman Road is a piece of land that we're very interested in, this property right here. But what's really for sale is where are those lots, right down here,
Mhm.
is really here.
Mhm.
The photograph is this.
Yeah.
The address is this, but it's not that land
Alright.
that's for sale. Because I almost had a cow when
Yeah.
I saw that online. I was like, no, 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 no.
Well, look, he's getting double the frontage, and he doesn't want to give us half of, less than half of what he's getting.
So
Down
right-
in access to environmental land, I mean, this isn't going to be developed anyway, whether we own it or not.
Based on
It'll
where this
stay the
line
way it
is right now, neighbor is currently using about half of this as part of their lawn, and I'm happy to let him keep using it. Because right now, I don't have all that much need for it. It works out fairly well.
What, if you had this lot, what would the total frontage be?
It would be about what was it, 225, I think? Each of them are slightly under 150 right now. I have to go back to where the map is, but
Why do you want the textile land? Why do you want the textile land?
for where the property is, what I really want to do is throw an outbuilding there as a garage and a woodshed. And right now, if I want to do that, I've got to throw it behind the house into a corner. This lets me put it with better access.
And the
to
house
driveway.
goes, the lot goes downhill.
Well, I mean, that's going to add a lot of value to his lots
Of course it
there.
is.
Considerable value.
Well,
And, but not, you know, and
It's
that's
going to cost me a
ridiculous.
ton of value. When people come into this town and they see a 4-acre lot, that's worth a lot to them.
I-
This goes and drops that significantly if I make the swap you want to, which takes value away from people trying to buy in this
I won't
town.
go along with the deal. The only thing I'll go along with is a trade for this going down here in this back land. I mean, this is silly, let's just leave it the way it is. Nothing's gonna happen, nothing will be built there, just leave it the way it is. We gain nothing. by
Well,
this swap.
part of my thinking, of one thing that we would gain, is this is already conservation. This is already conservation, and it might
Get closer
help,
to
it
Diane.
might help the people here and here to,
Make it corridor.
help us make a corridor, if we have this.
That's not a gamble worth taking. This here going along the railroad track and looking down on this brook, this is just, you know,
So-
this is, the River Protection Act protects this anyway.
Mhm.
So it really, it makes no difference whether we own this or not.
So what do we lose if we do this?
What do we lose? We lose an opportunity to get access down there into our
But we
brook
don't-
and
He
fishing.
don't lose access, he owns it.
But we
already.
don't have access now.
That's right. Why don't we get it?
Tax title.
We should get the, we
You
should
have
get
access
But
to
can't
land
get
across
to
the
that,
street.
You can't. I own that,
can't.
there
You own
is
it.
no access to that
Do
lot
we-
without,
Carolyn, do we have access to the land across the stream?
Yes.
you have to go across the railway.
You have to go to, walk down the railroad. That was given to us, it's so
So we
useless.
have access to this land across the street.
Yes.
No, no.
But I mean, you can walk.
No, we don't.
You have to walk
Well,
down
I mean,
the
you can go
You have to-
down Allen Road and across the railroad tracks
And
to get
there.
to this
Can't get
piece.
that piece.
But
You
it's
can't
not, it is, yes, you can get there,
Mhm.
but it's not easy, and legally, you're not supposed to walk on the railroad tracks, so legally, no, we do not. But,
And it's like 40Ks. Still, a lot of people go off Lancaster Road in the 40Ks.
Carolyn, what do you
Legally, you're
after?
supposed to, but we don't.
I
Everybody does.
don't necessarily
care.
see
They
a
only-
problem. I understand your point about access, and I'm trying to,
We don't
Think
have
of
to
it.
do anything.
no, we don't have
We
to.
don't have to do anything.
Nope.
And that's what I would suggest at this point. That's
Do we have to
unreasonable.
decide tonight?
It's unreasonable, no, it's
No.
unreasonable to expect to get this piece of land in trade for that, particularly one-on-one. It's ludicrous.
If we can't get to it.
Well, we
So,
can't get to it down
without
there.
getting this, have you been down there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got pictures on my phone. It's beautiful back there.
I know it
And
is.
this is
I
actually
fished it.
useless to us,
Yeah.
to us, not to somebody else, but
In the original proposal, it was a conservation easement to allow access to there so that you can do site inspection and review, and you refused that. You wanted direct, full ownership of that path to whatever you wanted in the future.
What did you say?
I said I was willing to sign an easement so you would have the ability to walk on that corridor down
You
there.
got that in
if you
writing?
needed to.
Because I don't remember it.
That was my original proposal. You shot it down
It's
because you
been
wanted to
several
own it.
years, it's been several years, so
I
I don't
included it
remember
back in
that.
the most
but-
recent community.
if I don't doubt it, because it's so reasonable to expect, if you wanted us to just give you that, we gain literally nothing down here in a way of ecology or anything. It's gonna be the way it is, no matter what. But, and also have public access down into this area for fishing. It'll never be used, but at least we've got access to some conservation land. And whether we have this or not, you know, we could work with other people over here. But I move that we just pass over it, table it.
Anybody have anything else to say about it?
You have an opinion? Carol and I walked it, so to me, this is beautiful, this is useless to us.
It's beautiful, you can see it
But we're not out to
now.
make money, we want to preserve what's right. Value-wise, probably no, he's right, he's not what we want, but value and money-wise, no, but as far as ecological value,
What will make the difference ecologically, whether he remains the owner or whether we get it? What difference does that make? Makes no difference at all. The River Protection Act protects it 200 feet
Protect
up?
200 feet.
I
That's
know
about,
that.
yeah, and that's about
I know
half
that.
of that.
yeah.
Can you build, how close to a river can you build a platform?
Non-permanent structures can be built within, it's a couple dozen feet. Non-permanent structures without a foundation can go pretty much right there.
If we allow it, if the Conservation Commission allows it.
And how big
I
does
can't
it-
believe you're not,
I
you
don't think you have enough information to, I mean, it keeps going back and forth and everything. I don't have.
Would you
enough to make a
consider
decision.
an easement here?
Yeah.
If there was an easement here, would you be satisfied?
Public easement?
Yes.
I prefer to, how much width will, how much frontage will that give him at that point?
The same amount?
Does that matter?
No.
Would he,
How much total frontage from that property line to this property line? These two properties?
if there was
No.
an easement here, or would, and my question to you is, if we were to get this and an easement, would you support that?
Not tonight. I would want to come up further. We need more than even footage. That's ludicrous. We come up, go all the way over that border with an easement down. I'll give it some thought, but I won't vote on it tonight. I think the question is to him, if we insist that you give us that, we'll give you that for this and this, will you take it?
Yeah, I rejected that 2 years ago.
You
because
reject it tonight?
I rejected
All
it
right,
2
now I
years ago,
reject
and
your
I brought,
offer.
when I first emailed back about this one in October, these were the proposals I put forward. That's been the conversation from day one. It has never been a full.
Well, I consider the conversation over. I won't entertain the conversation, not for the benefit of the town. I got a responsibility here to look after best interests of the town, and that kind of a deal isn't looking after the best interests of the town.
That's 107.
Huh?
That's 107.
107?
One
Of 7.
What am I missing?
You just
One
saying that
member
you
of
still only
7.
one vote.
One member of 7.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that, so this,
Where this
I would-
line falls is roughly at the top of the ridge line. So when you go there, immediately past it, it starts to dive down to the brook. Everything in front of that is a fairly steep dive, and then a nice flat down to the brook, wider, significantly wider on this side than this. It's a natural barrier.
you have not been down there. I know you haven't been down there. And I don't know if
Liz
this is
hasn't.
You don't have to go down there. The
Yeah,
point
but you
is,
see it's beautiful.
if it's the best habitat in town, it doesn't matter. It isn't going to get altered, whether we own it or not. Well, I would table it for tonight, because,
You don't need a decision right away, right?
of course not.
Just looking to make a decision.
Yep.
I'm having an issue with the being a piece going down. I mean, we should have the whole thing here. I mean, especially if we're trying to do something, across the board here. Having that, not ours, doesn't, or not part of the
What, that little bit
conversation.
here, you mean?
No,
He
over
wants
on
to
the
keep for
side.
himself.
And that was one of the 3 proposals for that reason.
Right, what is the third one, Joe?
It's the same flat across, this just got pulled back by about 20 feet to make up for the difference.
No, okay, so instead of doing this, it's this.
Yeah.
Right across.
Yep.
So like you said, it's,
Yeah,
Said these are the two that my wife and I prefer, the other one was on the table too.
this is not going anywhere tonight.
well, I would recommend, who hasn't been down there, to go down, take a walk down there.
I haven't walked it.
Huh?
I haven't walked it.
A question, Steve, what is the benefit of that?
Ooh, sorry.
I'm trying to connect corridors together, like we talked about earlier.
But I know I do that all the time,
I know.
and that is mine too, but I'm not about to give land away. The corridors
This
are
is
there.
actually useless to us.
I agree
If
with
you- if
Steve
you're-
on
if
that
you're-
one.
If you're doing on a, yeah, if you're doing on a money value, I can go with you, but I'm not thinking money wise. To me, this is worth more to me than this, as a conservation. This is, I've walked it, I mean, it's,
Okay, so maybe,
yeah, that's my
maybe
view.
we need to, I mean, I don't think we're ready to take a vote tonight on this,
No,
so why don't we
right.
just
Right, so we
Yeah,
should
schedule a-
set up
a
a
walk down.
walk
Walk
for.
down.
Come on down, take a look.
Yep.
Come during the evening, check out the deer.
Yes.
They're getting big.
I'd like to approach it from the other side where people would have to go
Mhm.
to get to it.
Yeah, that's interesting, okay.
Sounds good.
You can take me down some,
Yeah.
just go that route.
Yeah, people are down over there all the time. It's always it's interesting to see.
It's not too far down. Where would the culvert?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
All right,
All right,
thanks for the time.
Right?
Thank
you.
you.
thanks.
When can we walk it as a group? Can we walk it on a meeting night or?
That's hard for these guys for sure.
What, 7? Yes.
To get here
Beforehand,
early.
I couldn't get here beforehand.
How many of the other parcels that we purchased have you walked?
We're still on camera. Let's call it.
Yeah,
Let's close the meeting.
Yeah.
We gotta find
Do
a
we
camera
cover
guy
everything?
to. Pardon?
Treasurer
No.
or?
No?
I'll find a camera guy.
All right.
So no mail, no treasurer,
And it's the same, I don't have any confirmations from,
wetlands.
we haven't
No.
said anything fortunately.
no Louise, so no historic district.
Right.
Not governed pool, space plan, procedure checklist,
Hmm?
This part down there for the meeting.
land acquisition.
Oh, okay, I can just.
I'm gonna find that on.
the meeting to an end.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're done.
thank you.